Right, so my stock 6-iron, depressing as this is, so there it is, straight at target, 86 mile an hour, solid strike, low point 1.2 inches ahead, and carry, actually surprisingly, has got out there a little further at 173. So the 2-second tip to get more club head speed, see if you can spot it for this. Again, straight at target, 89 mile an hour, low point further ahead at 3.8 inches, and carry at 165. Now the first one went a little bit further, but was definitely because the ball didn't quite spin, maybe just a little bit of moisture on the ball. But you could see a decent pickup in club head speed there with an incredibly simple change. Now, did you spot it? Comment below. Congratulations if you got it right. It was just literally changing width of stance. So my normal width was 18.4 inches. I'm not exactly that every time. The second one was 21.5 inches. Now, I'm very fortunate as a coach. I've invested in Swing Catalyst, which is a pressure plate that it helps me understand how I interact with the ground to improve my ball striking and create more energy in my swing. Now, I appreciate you've not all got access to this, but hopefully with videos like this, you can learn the science behind why making these little changes is also going to help improve your golf. So the 3 ways you use the ground is you move side to side, you twist into the ground, and you push into the ground. So let's look at those 2 golf swings, because the second one was quicker, and let's see why the wider stance helped me generate more speed. So we can see the swing on the left-hand side is the first swing, swing on the right-hand side is the second swing. And the only difference is the width of stance, 18.4 inches and 21.5 inches. Now, as we make the swing though, this is the big key. The graph at the bottom, the pink-purple one, is how I'm moving the pressure side to side. And we can see on the left-hand side, I only get about 6-7% of my body weight pushing to the right to make me move left. Whereas on the right-hand side, I get 11% of my body weight. So it's a much bigger shift. That allows me to get more energy into my body, more energy into the club, and therefore hopefully hit the ball further every single time. So you could see it wasn't quite double, but it was nearly double the amount of pressure into the ground moving side to side I created. And even though it's the lowest way I generate my energy, it's still a really important one because it's the first way we do it. So in the downswing, as the club changes direction, we're looking to shift this way, which is you pushing into the ground that way to get your mass moving. But when I've got that very narrow base, it really restricts how much I can get that shift, and therefore I can't quite get enough speed into my golf swing. There's also another thing it kind of punishes me with. Because I can't move side to side very well, I don't really get my low point very far ahead. Therefore, my strike can be a little bit messy. And also, I tend to just present a little bit more loft to the golf ball. But it's funny, because I'm very comfortable standing narrow, I tend to do that without thinking. So definitely for me at the moment, it's making sure that I get that wider stance. And when you do this, you might be like me. Even though that's only like 2-3 inches wider, it really feels like I'm standing like that. I mean, like massively exaggerated. But I like the feel of the nice solid base. And then once I'm there, don't really think about anything else in my golf swing. Just put that swing on it. And it does feel aggressive, and we can see straight away there. All of a sudden, club speed's over 90 mile an hour, low point's 2 inches ahead, and 166 without being flush out the middle of the club. Now, I'd love to say that that's exactly what everybody needs to do, getting wider. But let's say, for example, you're a golfer who really needs more twist, because that's actually how you generate your speed. You actually might be standing that wide at the moment that you're really restricting what you do. So before you comment and say, I stand wide and I'm slower than I think I should be. Maybe you need to be the opposite of that. You need to narrow down a little bit in order to get more twist. And when you get that more twist, you'll probably see a little jump in clubhead speed. I mean, that one for me there, that drops down to 85.7. So it's a big drop off when I do that. And this is true with every club in the bag. I mean, I had a client that we did this who very quick with his irons. I mean, like, kind of probably about 86 with his 7-iron, and yet was only 95 with driver. Now, the weird thing is, stance-wise, he was pretty wide. With irons, he felt like he wanted to do that because he knew he wanted his low point ahead. But with driver, because he felt he wanted to hit up on the ball, he got there and kind of hung back a little. Now, even though we got him feeling the shift the same, the ball was forward, so he still hit up. But his quicker swing, and it only took 3 swings, jumped to 105 mile an hour. Now, he loved it, and he wanted a screenshot of the drive, because he said his mates would never believe him. But he has taken that onto the course, and has suddenly picked up some serious yardage. But like I said, it's such a quick change. You know, you get there, get yourself a little bit wider. Turn your Apple Watch off so it doesn't talk during your video, and then put a good swing on it. And it feels aggressive. Again, around that 90 mile an hour, 2 inches ahead, and 170 carry. Now, I know I've said at the start it's a 2-second tip. If I'm being honest, it's not even 2 seconds, is it? That's where I'd normally be, and I go to there. Again, before anyone comments, it's a 2-second tip, not a 2-second video, because otherwise, it'll all be over, and you wouldn't get to understand anything, and you probably wouldn't have even spotted it. But get yourself, I don't think you mind taking an extra second here, just to set up properly, that's going to give you the best way of making a fast, efficient golf swing that's going to get you striking the ball better, hitting it further with even more control. Because if you're like me, that's what you want with every shot.